Hello everyone, and thank you so much for coming back on over here to Zoe 10 Fun, and welcome to another low-key adventure as I talk about 5 of my favorite sports memories throughout the years. As I said previously, I'm one of the biggest sports fans ever, and so I absolutely love talking about sports. I thought, let's go down memory lane and talk about some of my favorite sports memories, because anyone that knows me knows that I get super riled up anytime I talk about sports, so I am ready, I am energetic. Let's get this going. So let's start off here with number 5. Now this one goes back to my 2020 men's basketball team for University of Cincinnati. Now this one really hit deep because this happened like a week before the COVID shutdown. So maybe that's why I love this one so much, but it was senior night and it was against the Temple Owls. And so I absolutely love Trey Scott. I actually saw Trey Scott on campus all the time. My first day when I transferred to UC, I actually had to ask him for directions. So maybe that's why I like him so much. I don't know. But so I watched all the festivities. I made such a point about the game that work actually let me off early, which never happens, and for some reason they gave me a free bottle of wine. I'm not quite sure why, but that's when you know something was going to be up with the game, because of course I drank the bottle of wine while watching the game, and who drinks wine while watching the basketball game? Not a lot of people. So that's when I knew something was going to be weird about this game. But so unfortunately, I guess the senior festivities got into their heads, and the Cats were not playing very well. Like, we should have been dominating, and we were losing by like 15 or something at the end of the first half, and I was like, oh my god, this is not going to be good. This is so embarrassing. We cannot lose like this. So thankfully the Cats were able to get it together, but not until the end of the game when there was only like 3 minutes left, and I was like, oh my god, we're coming from behind in like insane fashion. I'm literally chugging the entire bottle of wine because like my nerves are shot. We cannot lose. We were just hitting like 3-pointer after 3-pointer. I was getting so amped. I was like, I don't know if we can do it. There's now like 1 minute left on the clock and we're down by like 3 or something. I don't know. Maybe we were down by like 5. I don't know. Somebody hit a 3-pointer and I'm like, oh my god, we're so close. Like, we are so close. We were eventually, I can't remember the entire score, but I know we were down by 1 when there was like 10 seconds left in the game. Jerron Cumberland goes up for the layup and it misses, and my heart shatters because I'm like, oh my god, we lost. Like, I cannot believe this. And Trey Scott comes out of absolutely nowhere, tips it, it goes in, and I think I literally lost my cool. I think I screamed so loud. I could not believe it. I was like, dude, where did you come from? But I'm absolutely living for this. And then the other team that had to lobby it up and they missed, and so we won by 1 point, and it was just such a sigh of relief. I remember just calling my dad like with no words, like, can you believe we pulled that off? And I think I really just enjoyed that so much because the NCAA tournament was canceled because of COVID. So that was the last game that the 2020 Bearcats got to play, and how cool that the two seniors, Jerron Cumberland and Trey Scott, were both instrumental in that last point. Like, I just thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed that game. I was also a senior, so I think that was like the closest to any kind of senior festivities I had due to COVID. So maybe that's why that memory just sticks so much in my brain. I don't know. I really enjoyed that game. It really spoke to me on numerous levels. Maybe because of the wine. Who knows? But I really enjoyed that one. So comment down below if you remember that, if you were as touched by that memory as I was, because I thoroughly enjoyed that game. Moving on to my 4th favorite sports memory. Now, this one actually goes back to the 2018 Winter Olympics, and I'm talking about the women's hockey team. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I absolutely love the movie Miracle. My best friend and I used to watch it almost every night when we come back from going out when we were in college. Like, I absolutely just love it. I quote it all the time, and this memory is the closest thing to a miracle that I have. I remember we were playing against Canada, and we were supposed to lose by a lot, and we literally tied it and went into overtime, and I was like, how cool that these women are putting us on the map. Like, I absolutely loved it, especially because it was the women's hockey team who I feel like never gets any recognition. So I was really, really proud of them. I was really, really into the game. And then it ended up going into another tie after the overtime, and then it went into a shootout, which literally, like, my nerves, I could not handle it. I was like, these poor players, like, there's so much pressure on them. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull this off. Like, my roommate and I literally were so nervous, we weren't saying a word, and anyone that knows me knows that I love to talk. So that's when you know something was up. I was literally sitting in the corner, like, biting my nails. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if we can pull it off. I don't know, because Canada's a really, really good team. And literally, I just remember I, like, blinked, and then ours went in. Like, we scored the winning goal and we took home the gold, and I honestly screamed so loud. I'm pretty sure my roommate and I woke up our entire floor. I remember my other roommates coming out being like, do you know how selfish you are for waking us all up? Like, we have exams the next day. And I was like, do you realize that history has just been made? Like, this is our real life miracle. Like, this was amazing. I literally kept screaming, do you believe in miracles? calls. Like, I was just so touched because how cool that I finally got to experience something close to the Miracle. I know it wasn't quite the same as the movie Miracle. However, I do highly recommend that movie, and this memory was so cool. I absolutely love it. And my roommate who I was with at the time actually used to play women's hockey. So it was really cool to get her perspective on it because obviously I've never played women's hockey. I have no idea what it's like. I can't skate to save my life. My brother played hockey when I was growing up, so I did spend a lot of time in an ice rink, but like I said, I've never played. I can't skate. I went skating once. I had a horrific experience, never going back, but it was really cool. I absolutely loved that memory and loved that we were able to put US on the map again. And like I said before, that it was the women's hockey team to do it. I love that. They don't typically get the recognition, so I just love to see it. I was super proud of them. Go USA. Moving on to my third favorite sports memories. Now this one takes it to my beloved Cincinnati Reds, and I actually have a prop to prove it. I still have my ticket stub, guys, because I was actually there for this one live and in person. This was back in 2010 when we clinched the National League Central Division, and this was against the Houston Astros. I was so excited. I got tickets literally like an hour before the game. It was very last minute. I went with my mom, my grandma, and my sister-in-law, so it was very random group, very spur of the moment, but I absolutely loved it. We were in the nosebleeds, so you know, of course, it was a great time when you're in the nosebleeds. And I just remember the whole time I was like, Mom, I really feel like this is going to be the game that we're going to do it. We've had such a drought. I feel like we were in a drought since like the 1990 World Series. So we were so desperate for this win. And it was just like every player that came up to bat, because we were down by 1 in the ninth inning, like nobody was getting it done. And I was like, I'm just telling you, something's going to happen. And nobody was getting it done. So like my heart was just slowly but surely like breaking. And then I remember Jay Bruce comes up to bat, and I was like, Mom, it's going to happen. He hits home runs all the time. It's going to happen. Because there were other people on base. I can't remember how many. And I swear to you guys, this was the longest at-bat I think I've ever experienced in my entire life. I'm telling you, it was at least 20 minutes long. He fought off at least 9 balls. I want to feel like it's maybe even 12. Like, it was so many. Every time you'd see, like, the ball hit the bat, you're like, oh, dang it, it's foul. Oh, dang it, it's foul. Like, it was just, like, a nonstop. And I was like, for the love. Like, will he please just hit it? And so it's finally, as I was about to give up hope, as my grandma's sitting there with her rally cap on, like, with her head faced the other way, he's like, I can't even watch. I'm so nervous. And my mom's like, oh, my God, will he just do something? And I'm over here like, please. The ball hit the bat, and I knew right away. I watched it hit the ground when it hit a home run, and I swear to you, I almost like blacked out. I was so freaking excited, so freaking pumped. Like, I was like, oh my God, I was here when it happened. Like, we finally have a good team. And I just remember like leaving to get to my car. Like, you couldn't even drive in the streets. Like, there was just parades everywhere. Everyone was so excited that a Cincinnati team was doing well. We actually won something. Unfortunately, we then lost the next round due to a no-hitter with Philly. So, you know, it didn't last very long. But it was a really cool memory. I think I hold it really close to my heart because I was there. I got to experience it live, and I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life. Unfortunately, the Reds haven't been that great ever since, but I'm hopeful that we can do that again here soon. And I do hang this up every day in my room to give me inspiration because, like I said, I truly enjoyed this memory, and it just shows that miracles can happen. You just never know when or who could even do it. So I absolutely love that memory. So comment down below, all my Cincinnati Reds fans, if you remember where you were when that happened, because it honestly was such an instrumental day in Cincinnati sports history. Now it's time to talk about my second favorite sports memory. This one also involves my beloved Cincinnati Reds. This one, we're going back to when Derek Dietrich and Yasiel Puig were both on the team. Talk about two of my all-time favorite Cincinnati Reds. I just really enjoyed watching them. They were super fun, super energetic, and super funny. Like, I just really enjoyed watching them. This is back when Derek Dietrich hit like 3 home runs in one game, and he used to just watch them basically as they were just crushed, and he would watch it, which honestly, like, I understand the disrespect from it, but I also don't understand why it's a big deal, because like, he crushed the ball. Like, I let him admire his work. Like, come on, any other job you get to admire your work, so I don't really understand why that one is such a big deal. But Pittsburgh didn't like that, so the next time we faced them, there was definitely some animosity there, specifically towards Derek Dietrich. But before you know it, there's an all-out brawl between the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates, which honestly, love to see it, because unless you're a Pirates fan, nobody likes Pittsburgh. Like, nobody does. Like, any sport, like, that's just in general. Unless you're from there, you don't like them. So I was all amped up because I was like, I do not like Pittsburgh. And it was like the most amazing scene ever was when Yasiel Puig decided to take on their whole team. Like, honestly, my money would have been on Puig. Like, he is such a large and in charge man. I was so here for it. I remember Cincy Shirts came out with that shirt that literally was the picture of him taking on that whole team. And that's like my biggest regret, is that I didn't buy it, because that is such an iconic moment. And the fact that Joey Votto was the one trying to calm down Yasiel Puig just makes me laugh so hard, because Joey Votto is the biggest hothead like the Cincinnati Reds has ever had. So the irony that he was the one that was like, Puig, calm down, Puig, calm down. Like, come on, guys. Like, that's so funny. And then the interviews afterwards, like, I truly enjoyed Dietrich's video that he posted where it was Puig wearing that shirt that Cincinnati shirts made, and it was him being like, Puig, you were such a good friend. Look at you taking on that whole team for me. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was really funny. I don't really condone violence, but I thought that whole brawl was hilarious. I absolutely loved it. We now absolutely hate Pittsburgh even more, and so God only knows what it's going to be like when we face them this year, because we have such a rivalry, but I'm so here for it. So that was such a great memory. I just love that. I really wish that Derek Dietrich and Yasiel Puig were still on the Reds. And now on to my fifth and favorite sports memory. Now this one has to be a shout out to my 2020 University of Cincinnati Bearcats football team. Where did you come from? I absolutely live and breathe this season. Like, I absolutely love this. Like, honestly, I find myself just talking about the Cats nonstop, because this was honestly like the biggest shocker of them all. I was so proud of my Cats. I mean, they went 9-1, and honestly, their one loss was in the bowl game, and I wouldn't even call that a loss, because they represented Cincinnati so well. They put us on the map. They made ESPN talk about it, so I absolutely love them. So I wouldn't even consider that a loss. Like, to me, that's a win. Like, I absolutely love Desmond Ridder. Like, Fickle has so much faith and trust in Desmond Ridder, so it makes me have so much faith and trust in him. And honestly, like, how many times do you see these college quarterbacks and you're like, God, scream douche? Like, for instance, Trevor Lawrence to me just screams douche. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know him personally, but he just screams like such a douche. Whereas Desmond Ridder, I'm like, gosh, I want to be friends with him. He just seems so cool. Maybe it's because I'm obsessed with his voice. I don't know, but I really want to be friends with him. And then also, like, shout out to like the local boys like Jarrell White. Like, it was so fun to watch them blossom. Like, we had one of the best defenses in the game, honestly, and I loved it. I was a big fan of Derek Forrest. He did a lot of really great stuff. James Wiggins. Like, we just had so many good players. And then, of course, watching Jared Dokes do his thing, weave in and out, like, that was so much fun. And I don't know why I made this a tradition during the games, but my best friend is from Chicago, and she got me 6 different beers from all of her favorite breweries there. And I don't know why, like I said, I made this a tradition, but I drank one during each game. So, like, for 6 games, I got to try a new beer. And honestly, that was such a fun experience. I loved each and every beer. So shout out to Emily. They were amazing. Thank you. I loved all of them, and then they were it was just a great time. Like, you can't watch football and not drink a beer. And so I absolutely loved it. Like, I'm just rambling, guys, because I loved the 2020 Cats team so much. Like, 2020 was awful for so many different reasons, but this Cats team just brought the life back into me. Like, my coworkers would message me at work and be like, you know, what are you doing this weekend? And literally all I would respond with is go Cats. And I'd be like, oh, there's a Bearcats game. We know what Zoe's doing. And they knew then right away if, like, there were to be a loss. Like, you do not message me. Like, that is a heartbreak. Like, I may have shed a tear or two when we lost the Peach Bowl, because I wanted them to win so bad. Like, I wanted it more than like my marathons. Like, I don't know, I just really felt connected to this Bearcats team. And like I said previously with the basketball team, like, I was on campus with some of these players. Like, I actually had classes with a few of them, so it was just really cool because, like, I had a deeper connection with them. And like I said, like, you can just see their passion when they play, and I really love that, because sometimes when you look at these Clemson and Ohio State teams, like, you know they're on a good team. Like, you know the players are just cocky, whereas the UC Bearcats are just trying to put themselves on the map, and they just have true heart. Like, Desmond Ridder crying when we won the championship, oh my God, that's still just like, oh, it gives me goosebumps every time. Like, it just, it gets me amped up. Like, I don't know if you can tell, guys, but I'm riled up. I love talking about this team. And honestly, whoever's in charge of their social media is freaking fire. Those videos, whether it was TikToks, like, recaps from the previous game, I don't know what it was. They were amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. When I have a bad day at work, I sometimes have to go on my lunch break and watch one of those videos to get amped up, to get myself to go back in there. Like, that's how motivating these videos are. So shout out to whoever's in charge of that social media page. You are insanely good at it. And shout out to my Bearcats. Honestly, thank you for making 2020 so much better. I completely revolved my schedule around their games. I made all of my friends watch it, all my Dayton Flyer friends. I'm like, well, you're a Cats fan now. Shout out to Emily specifically. Thank you, Emily, for listening to everything that I had coming your way with the Cats. And so I just truly enjoyed them. So please comment down below if you had any of these football teams that truly made your 2020 better. I really hope it was the Cats, but I know there were some other really great teams out there, like Coastal Carolina. You killed it. Don't know where you came from. So there was just I just absolutely loved the college football. I was really glad that they were able to play in 2020. So thank you all so much for taking this low-key journey with me as we walk down memory lane for some of my top 5 favorite sports memories. So do not forget to hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss any of the fun low-key adventures I have coming your way, guys, because I promise you I have so much fun in store. I have so much planned. You will not want to miss anything. So like I said, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. And it means so much to me that you came out here yet again to get to know me. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And so until our next low-key adventure, guys, I will see you all later.